All right, so you're probably thinking, wait, Trump wants to buy Greenland. Again. I mean,
It does sound like a movie plot, right?
it does. Kind of like a sequel,
Yeah.
But this time, things are getting real, I guess. This article titled Pasted Text
Yeah.
lays it all out.
Yeah, it's wild.
It's January 14th, 2025.
Mm-hmm.
Trump's about to be inaugurated again.
Right back in the Oval Office.
And there's this bill, like an actual piece of legislation.
It's called the Make Greenland Great Again Act.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. That's actually its name.
I mean,
It authorizes him.
wow.
It authorizes President Trump to basically start negotiating to buy Greenland from Denmark.
Mm.
And get this, it kicks in right on Inauguration Day.
So January 20th?
January 20th, 2025.
Yeah.
That's like less than a week away.
So they're ready to hit the ground running.
Oh, yeah. And that name, though.
Yeah, the name.
Make Greenland Great Again.
I mean, it's pretty.
So it's on brand.
It's very Trumpian.
It is.
It is.
But it also kind of makes you think, right? Like, who are the people pushing this thing?
Exactly.
What's their agenda here?
Because it's not the first time he's shown interest, right?
Right. We were talking about back in 2019.
Yeah, during his first term.
But-
Was he just, I don't know.
He kind of just, like, threw it out there.
Yeah, just like.
It was kind of a weird time.
Yeah. And the article doesn't really, like.
Doesn't really say why he was interested.
Exactly.
It was weird.
But now he's.
Now it's all about national security and global freedom.
Yeah, that's his thing now.
It's his, yeah.
What do you make of that framing? I mean.
Well, like, what specific security concerns is he talking about, right?
Right.
Like, how does Greenland factor into global freedom exactly?
Right.
It's like, is there something we're missing here?
It just makes you wonder what's really going on, right?
Yeah.
It does. Okay, so how's Greenland feeling about all this?
Oh, they are not happy.
I can imagine.
Their Prime Minister, Mudejdi, he's basically said.
Don't even think about it.
Yeah. He said Greenland is not for sale.
Flat out.
Flat out.
End of story.
And this is where it gets interesting because Greenland, they're part of the Kingdom of Denmark.
Right.
But they have been kind of wanting independence for years now.
And been pushing for more and more autonomy.
Exactly. And Eddie Jeed, he's a big supporter of full independence.
Oh, I see where you're going with this.
So you got to wonder,
Yeah.
does this whole Trump thing actually help their cause?
You mean like the enemy of my enemy situation?
Exactly.
But couldn't it also push them closer to Denmark?
You're right. It's like, do they band together for protection?
Or do they double down on the whole independence thing?
Yeah. It's a tough spot for Greenland, that's for sure.
And speaking of tough spots, what about Denmark? What are they saying?
Well, their Prime Minister, Mette Frederiksen, she's been very clear
About,
the kingdom is staying together.
okay.
She's not about to let Greenland go, but she does recognize Greenland's right to, like, seek independence eventually.
So it's complicated.
Oh, it's super complicated. Yeah.
So Denmark doesn't want to sell,
Yeah.
but they also know they can't really force Greenland to stay.
It's a tough balancing act for sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
And of course, we can't forget about Russia and all of this.
Oh, yeah. They're definitely watching this whole thing very closely.
Yeah, the article said that the Kremlin announced they're,
Keeping tabs.
keeping an eye on it.
Why are they so interested? I mean, think about it. Greenland's location. It's right there in the Arctic.
Prime real estate.
Right in Russia's backyard, basically.
Makes sense. They'd be a little concerned.
And here's the thing.
Yeah,
The Arctic is becoming a really big deal.
because of the melting ice.
Yeah. New shipping routes are opening up, access to resources that were, like, locked away before.
Right, like oil and gas.
Tons of stuff. It's like a whole new frontier opening up.
Wow, so Greenland's location is suddenly
Super strategic.
super strategic.
And this sale, if it were to happen, it wouldn't just be about, like, who owns what land anymore.
It's a whole geopolitical chess game.
Exactly. It could shift the balance of power in the region, even the whole world.
And Russia, they've been pretty active in the Arctic lately.
Oh, yeah. They've been building up their military presence there.
So when they say they're committed to peace and stability in the region,
Yeah. Should we just take their word for it?
well, it does make you wonder what their real game is.
It does.
So we've got Trump pushing for this deal, Greenland wanting independence, Denmark trying to hold everything together, and Russia,
Lurking in the shadows.
yeah, watching for any opportunity to, I don't know, make a move.
It's a recipe for,
Disaster.
yeah, maybe even conflict.
And it all comes back to Greenland.
Yeah, it's like, what happens to Greenland?
What's their best move here?
Exactly. Let's say they do become independent, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is joining the U.S. actually a good idea for them?
Or is there a better path?
Right. Like maybe they align with other Arctic nations, or maybe they go it alone.
A lot of possibilities.
A lot of options on the table.
So we've covered a lot of ground here.
A lot.
Trump wants to buy Greenland again.
Again, yeah.
There's this bill.
We'll make Greenland Great Again Act.
Greenland's like, no way.
Yeah.
Denmark's in a tough spot.
Mm-hmm.
And Russia is, well, being Russia.
As always.
This whole thing is just, it's a powder keg.
It really is. It'll be interesting to see how it all plays out.
Absolutely.
It could have some major consequences.
Yeah. So here's something to think about after all this. If you were a citizen of Greenland, how would you feel about this situation? Would you welcome a deal with the U.S., or would you want something else entirely?
Yeah, what would you do? It's a question worth pondering.
It is, and it shows just how complicated this whole thing is.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks for joining us for this deep dive into
The great Greenland saga of 2025.
Yeah, stay tuned. Who knows what'll happen next?
Yeah, it's going to be a wild ride.
It is.
Yeah.